So this is the first day of class in an intro to stick welding course. I'm going to go over the syllabus real quick here and show you what the first lab is, and then let you guys get out of here so you can go get your actual safety equipment put in order. So we'll start just by going over the syllabus here. This is Jamestown Community College. The course abbreviation and number is WLD 1350 CRN 4742. The course title is Shielded Metal Arc Welding. My name is Brent Harkness. The course location is MTI 125. That's the room you're in right now. Office location is MTI 128. MTI is just the building that you're in. Office hours refer to my office door. It is currently fall 2020. Contact information, because we are recording this for online purposes, is going to be blacked out. You can see right here I already blacked it out. This course introduces the shielded metal arc or stick welding process. It's commonly referred to. Stick welding is not the proper term for stick welding. Doesn't make a lot of sense, does it? But it's actually called shielded metal arc welding. That is the proper term for stick welding. Stick welding is basically a slang term, and you need to know what stick welding is too, because it is so common that they refer to it as stick welding, but the proper term is actually shielded metal arc welding. A lot of times they'll take that and they'll break it down into SMAW. You see right here, SMAW electrodes. It's just an acronym for shielded metal arc welding because it is such a long phrase. This process, let's see here. Go back to the beginning. This course introduces the shielded metal arc welding process, including basic joints, types of welds, welding positions, and common terms. You'll be welding in all four positions: flat, horizontal, vertical, and overhead on plate welding. On plate, actually. Emphasis is placed on padding, fillet, and groove welds in various positions. With SMAW electrodes, upon completion, students should be able to perform SMAW fillet and groove welds on carbon plate with prescribed electrodes. Alright, so students, of course, student learning outcomes. Students who demonstrate understanding can list the important safety measures for the equipment used during the course. Safety is going to be hammered in every course you take in the welding program. There's going to be an emphasis on safety wherever you go in the field. Even if you've gone through a huge amount of safety at a company, and when you go to another company, they're going to make you do it all over again, so get used to it. Safety is very important to go over because we don't want anybody getting hurt or doing anything foolish, right? To hurt someone else, I guess you could say. List types of power sources, theory of operation, and effect upon the weld. Power sources, when they say that, they're referring to the actual welder. Theory of operation, so how it's working, their effect upon the weld, what happens when you turn amperage way up in stick welding, what happens when you turn it way down, things like that. List and describe there are 5 basic weld joints. Perform basic measuring check on a production part. To the outline, here we go. Once again, safety. You're going to hear that a lot. Eye and ear protection. You got to have safety glasses on at all times. Respiratory protection, ventilation. So we have out there forced ventilation. It sucks the entire room out air-wise. Every 3 minutes it changes the air. So it's a really good system. Material safety data sheets, that's MSDS. They have gotten rid of the material part of that. It's now safety data sheets. It's basically the same thing though. So I should probably mark that down and change it. But for now, MSDS, it's good to know that too. Electrical safety. In the welding lab, the actual lab part, it's 460 volts. Out on the floor, 220. Then you have your regular 110s. But we're going to hit the electrical safety because there's a lot of electricity that's involved with welding, obviously. Clothing, we're going to go over that here right today in a second. You don't want any synthetics is the big thing. So if you have like a Jim Kelly jersey, you don't want to wear that, right? When it catches on fire, it melts to you. So, here we go. Handling and storing of cylinders. We don't do that much in stick because we don't use cylinders other than, actually we do for cutting the bevels on the plates that you'll do. So you will do some handling of cylinders. Fire protection and material handling. Equipment setup and operation. So welding, current, and power with stick welders or shielded metal arc welding equipment, they're going to adjust the current on there. That's amperage. Amperage and current are basically the same thing. Open circuit and operating voltage. So that's when welder isn't actually welding. What's the voltage on that? That's your open circuit, right? Maximum open circuit should be like 80. Operating is while you're welding. Types of power sources, we just kind of went over that. Constant current machines is what you're going to be doing because you're adjusting current on there. If it was a MIG welder, it'd be constant voltage because you're adjusting the voltage on there. Duty cycle is the percentage of time that you can weld in 10 minutes. So if you have a 60% duty cycle, you can weld continuously for 6 minutes and then the welder turns off. Setup, obviously you're going to set up the equipment every day, so we only do plate in this course, no pipe. Process capabilities, weld dependence upon current. Electrodes, you're going to use 2 different electrodes, 6010 and 7018, they're the most common electrodes used. Arc length, the effects arc length has on the weld when you're getting too big or too small. Electrode angle and manipulation, practice weld, stringer beads, square butt joint, edge weld, outside corner, lap joint, T-joint, those are all the types of joints. Troubleshooting, common equipment failure. Believe it or not, you do troubleshooting on every single weld, right? When you get done, you look at that weld and you go, wow, that's pretty good. Or, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Better hide that one, not show anybody, right? Textbook required materials, welding principles and applications, 8th edition, ISBN's there. It's available in the bookstore and online. Clothing responsibility. This is what you're going to do today. The first day, what I do is I go over the syllabus. I give them a video to watch for homework. It's the first lab they're doing. It's this thing right here. So, actually that's the camera, so it's a big giant block. And we'll go over that in a video here in a second. But it starts with a plus sign, if you will, of the plates. They're 2 inches, and it's just 2-inch fillet weld is what it is. But you're going to fill this up with flat, horizontal, vertical, and overhead in each section. It takes a long time, it takes a lot of rods, but it's what you have to do to start. You have to weld a lot. When you're done, you end up with this block thing. This is just one that I did. We'll look at this again. This is the one that I have on a video that you should watch before you come in. People watch the video and they still screw this up. I don't know how. I hand out the stuff, I go over the different positions, I show the video. So watch the video before you come into the next class. It's pretty heavy too. Once you get all them rods in there, in the video it tells you how many rods are in there. I counted them and kept track when I was doing that. So where are we at? Oh yeah, clothing. Students in the welding program must have steel-toed boots, cotton or wool jeans, a quick change helmet, speed glass 9100 or equivalent, and absolutely no synthetic clothing. So when we start courses and intro courses, people come in flip-flops, you know, they got their Jim Kelly jersey on and, you know, shorts. You have to have, in order to go through the program, steel-toe boots, jeans, cotton or wool. I don't know who wears wool anymore, but mostly cotton jeans, a cotton shirt or wool shirt, I guess, the long sleeves, a pair of leather gloves, and most people get a speed glass. If you're going to be in the welding program or the welding field, you need to have a quick change helmet. It's an auto darkening helmet. We wrote down speed glass just because that's what most people in the industry have. I don't know why. It's got a really nice headgear, I guess, but they have cheap ones at stores like Harbor Freight, things like that are like 50 bucks, I want to say. Don't quote me on that, but speed glasses are more expensive because they're nice. But you can get by. I've had people go through the whole program with a Harbor Freight auto changing helmet. So the big thing is no synthetics. You catch on fire, you're gonna, you know, melt your clothes to yourself, you know. So that's obviously bad. Grading policy. I think this is a standard grading policy, but A is 90 to 100, B plus 85 to 89, B is 80 to 84, C plus 75 to 79, C you can read, right? Read the rest. Withdrawal card from my office. If you want to withdraw from the course, yeah, there's a day that it's due. I don't know what it is. We'll have to look at it and get back to you. But you have to fill out a withdrawal card. Attendance 10%, quizzes 40%, lab requirements 50%. So if you're here and participating, you get 10%, right? It's like a free 10. You're starting with a 10. It's a gift. Make sure you're here. People that do poorly in these courses miss class, okay? When we're in the lab, we're here for 4 hours, all right? So it's a lot of time to miss if you miss a lot of days. Quizzes. I write stuff on the board here. I actually type it because my handwriting's atrocious. You write it down for probably 2 days, and then I'm going to go, next class is a quiz. You come in, you take the quiz on whatever I was writing on the board. Very simple, no tricks. I don't do pop quizzes. It's all, plain Jane, no tricks. Lab requirements, that's the most important thing, 50%. So your lab requirements are going to be, this block is the first one. It takes you a little while to do that. It's a lot of rods. Then you're going to have 4 more. It's a groove weld with a single V in the flat, horizontal, vertical, and overhead positions. Those are your lab requirements. By the time you're done with that block, you'll be able to strike an arc in any position and maintain it all the way across till the electrode's been consumed. So, attendance policy, you get 3 days, 4 you get an F. You have to have a doctor's note, reasonable excuse for every time, or 2 times a student's late, they'll receive an absence, all right? Just don't miss the tests and things like that. Like late assignment policy, we don't give you a huge amount of homework in this course. It's all quizzes. So if you miss the quiz, what I have to do is send you out and then go over the quiz, try to remember that you're in here or out in the hallway, and not forget that you're out in the hallway because you missed the quiz, and bring you back in. It's just a pain, so don't miss the quizzes. For online people, when I assign a quiz, you're going to have a week to do it. That's where your attendance policy is going to come from. So if you're online, your attendance is basically, did you take the quizzes within a week? And that should give you plenty of time to take a quiz. Blackboard Use Policy. I just wrote, I do not use Blackboard. That's for the face-to-face people. If I'm doing online courses, you need to check the Blackboard twice a week, all right? So if you're scheduled on like a Monday, Wednesday for face-to-face, if I am, then you're going to want to check Blackboard Thursday or Tuesday and Thursday, and vice versa. If it's Monday, wait a minute here. If it's Monday, Wednesday, you're going to check Tuesday, Thursday. If it's Tuesday, Thursday, you're going to check Wednesday, Friday on Blackboard, depending on when this is on. And I will go over the Blackboard for the online people in Blackboard, so don't really worry about that now. Emergency closing procedures. This is JCC's emergency closing procedures. I do one of my own. It's on Remind, where everybody comes, they put their numbers in, and then I send an email out and it goes to your phone. People live and die by their phones, right? That brings me to my phone policy. I don't really have a phone policy. Obviously, don't be talking on the phone in the middle of class. During tests, no phones. You can't be looking on your phones during a test for obvious reasons. No smart watches, any of that stuff that you can cheat with, that's obvious, right? I'm not a huge phone guy. I don't flip out if you're on the phone. If you're on the lab, I don't care what you do as far as the phone goes. But when you're in the classroom, if you want to text, I don't care if you text. You're just missing the stuff that's going on up here. So, not a big, you have the professors that freak out if you're on the phone, right? I've come to terms with the fact that the phone is a computer and a tool. So if you want to use the phone, fine. Just don't disrupt the class, that's all. Expectations of students. This is the civility student, the student responsibility statement and academic integrity. And you can go to these websites and check those out. Disability, special services, and special accommodations. I blacked out the info just because it's going on the internet. I'll go over it here when I turn the cameras off with the class people. For online people, I'll put it in the Blackboard, all right? That is it for the syllabus. Go back at the top here, and I'll show you the video that we're going to assign for day 1. So right now, like I said, I excuse everybody to go get their steel-toed boots, their jeans, whatever they got to get for safety equipment on day 1. Be ready to weld day 2. We're going to jump right into this block on day 2, all right? The video of me doing the block. So I pulled up the video of me doing the actual block right here. And you can see, there's your plus sign, if you will. And you see 1F, 2F, 3F, 4F. Those are just positions. They're designations for positions. 1F is flat, 2F is horizontal, 3F is vertical, and 4F is overhead. And you can see, this is the progression that you're going to do. You're going to do 1B, then 2 over the 1, then 3 over the 2, then 4 over the 3, then 5 over the 4 until this thing's all filled up. 1/8 inch, 7018, about 120 amps. Let's see if I can get to a point where I'm not standing in the way. There we go. 51 rods, 65 rods, 55 rods, 65 rods for a total of 236 rods in the entire block. That's a lot of welding rod, right? But when you're done with this, you'll be able to strike an arc in any position and maintain it. Let's see if we can get a picture. I think one of the... So in this video, what I did is I welded one in real time. So that's real time right there. You don't move very fast with a stick. I hate getting MIG welders in the intro to stick because they always move too fast with MIG welding before. So that's real time, and then we speed it up with some hideous music. Let's see if we can get to that. That is me filling the entire block up. See, it's flat. Speed it up even more. There it is, filled up. Then you're going to go to horizontal. There it is, real time. And again. And again. Till it's filled up. Then we're going to go to horizontal. Well, let's see here. Vertical. There's real time. You're going to weave the vertical. You know, a lot of people tell you you can't weave it, but we'll go over that later. But you're going straight up. And last but not least, overhead. That is project 1. I will put the link to this video in the video description. So all you gotta do is click on it. You can watch this video. It's longer than I want to watch. I've seen it about 20 times, but it really, you can't really mess it up, I feel like, if you watch the video, but people still do. So I don't know, it's in the video description. So now, face-to-face people, I'm going to sign you up for your reminds for closing procedures from me, and then we're going to release you to go get your safety equipment, and we'll be back here next class, class 2, ready to rock, ready to weld. All right. So that's all I got for today for the online people. We'll see you next class for lecture number 1.